Good morning, mathematicians. Got a beautiful Sunday upon us. Well, maybe it's beautiful where you are. It's a little cloudy here. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you've had a proof-filled weekend so far. But today's the day to really lock it in. To really confirm your proofs, or if you haven't proved anything too crazy yet this weekend, to get it in. Ethan Lipson, hello, good morning. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. I'll probably, while waiting for questions, I'll probably yap more about Hecka algebras. But as usual, we'll see what's happening on the official, unofficial news source for mathematics, being Reddit. Looking for book resources, Princeton Companion. 125-year-old problem. Stacks Project, why? Some people just, some people want to watch the world suffer. What are the biggest novel results in other fields that are attributable to category theory? Interesting. Interesting. I was just discussing this in a Discord server, because there were some people who are like, "Oh, what can you even do with category theory?" Did you miss anything fun yesterday? I think so. I think yesterday was a really fun video. Hello, Luis El Petito. Good morning. Okay, let's dive in. Let's see what we got here. 125-year-olds. If you're clickbait averse, the authors claimed to derive Navier-Stokes from hard sphere collision dynamics, which is related to Hilbert-6 problem. Damn. Okay. I guess that doesn't mean anything about a solution to Navier-Stokes, but or maybe it does. Maybe that's progress towards it. I don't know. Crazy stuff. Stacks Project, why? Can someone explain, like I'm a beginning math grad student, what algebraic stacks are? Well, okay. Let's see. That's different than the Stacks Project. Good morning, Edit Smith. Good morning, Edit Smith. What they are, why they deserve 1,000+ page textbook. Is the book supposed to be completely self-contained? Yes. And thus an accurate reflection of how much math you need to learn, starting from undergrad. I don't know if that's necessarily true, because I feel like the Stacks Project builds up, like, they want to make sure they get absolutely everything about everything. So I feel like they build up more than maybe the typical person who's going to use stacks in their day-to-day research. I was amused when Borcher said in one of his lecture videos that he could never quite remember how stacks are defined, despite learning it more than once. That's interesting, because I feel like, yeah, okay, maybe there's little, like, particular details and stuff, but I don't know. I mean, it makes, at least I say this now, having just recently read a particularly helpful, like, short PDF, but it was like, okay, I understand a lot more about it. One thing I still don't get, so I now understand why it's a category fibered in groupoid specifically. It's like, well, isn't that so restrictive? But now it makes sense to me why that's the right thing to take. What I don't understand still somehow is this claim that, oh, something is not a variety because the points have extra automorphisms. Like, I get how those manifest in the stack, But still, I don't know. Somehow it's weird. It's just like, what if you just forget those extra automorphisms or something? You found this presentation that gives some great intuition for why exact sequences are interesting. Thought you might get a kick out of it. Oh, okay. I guess you can't link it in chat, right? Oh, hi. I'm Mustafa. Yeah, I guess you can't link it in chat, which is maybe too bad. If you can say maybe like who the author is or something, I would. There is. I wonder if this is the thing you're thinking of, because there's a really nice spectral sequences puzzle or something. There's this explanation puzzling through exact sequences. Yeah. It's from three blue, one brown, one brown's website. Yeah, I saw. Yeah. Okay, so it is the same one we're thinking of. Yeah. So yeah, not only does it give a cool way to talk about not only does it give a cool way to talk about exact sequences, but it gives a really cool way to talk about spectral sequences actually. Yeah, I've looked over this thing before. It's yeah, incredible. Incredible. Thanks for bringing it up. Yeah, I was actually I'm such a nerd that so I do like zone 2 training, if anyone know what that is. Basically you just run for a longer time at an easier pace essentially. But I like to listen to lectures. Hello, Julie. Hello, Julie. I like to listen to lectures when I'm inside. If the weather's not nice, of course I like being outside. But if the weather's like a little crummy, I mean sometimes I still like to tough it out. But I'll go run on the treadmill and then I'll watch a lecture or a couple lectures while I run. And I was watching one on spectral sequences, so I might have to revisit that with these pictures in mind. Could I explain the difference between fibration and fiber bundles? Sort of, maybe. I'm not a I'm not a pro at this stuff either. Well, I mean I think the simple thing is that a fiber bundle is just a particular case of a fibration. So, like. You're also a runner. Talleyrand recommends mathematicians try running. Yeah, I mean, uh, there's a lot of mathematicians in this world who are quite unhealthy and yet make profound contributions that are well beyond anything I'll probably achieve. So clearly, you don't have to be physically fit. Well, I can I will yap something. I will yap something. We'll probably jump to Wikipedia, but I will yap something that I do know. But on the point of running, yeah. So obviously you don't need to necessarily be fit, but I mean it just makes sense to me that if your body, which is the support system for your brain, is in optimal condition, then that will simply allow your brain to process better, right? You're a low distance jogger, usually jog like 20-25 meters, kilometers. M for miles. I see. Freedom units. A week or 2 weeks, whatever time there is. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I think it's good. Yeah, I mean, I'm now like, because I'm over 30, I'm obsessed with like health and fitness and longevity. So, and because I'm a nerd, I like to nerd out on all sorts of like sports science and nutrition science type stuff as well. So, yeah, fiber bundles, right? Fiber bundles. No, not like miles. Oh, so is it kilometers? 20 to 25 kilometers? Yeah, fiber bundle, right, is, I mean, you've basically got, you have, some continuous surjective map, and basically the point is that things locally looks like a product, right? So the point is that, so yeah, this is some sort of surjective map. You have you might call the fiber. So around each base point there exists an open set such that the I guess the fiber over that open set just looks like a Cartesian product, right? And so, okay, definitely this is, it itself is some sort of special kind of surjective map. So there's big surjective vibes going on here. But in general, like we would like in like homotopy world, Julie, can you ask for some advice? You're at a choke point where you can either get done with your bachelor's early by doing more or take time learning stuff. Cannot get accredited anywhere but learning. Aha. I will address that in a moment. I'm gonna yap a bit about fibrations and stuff. So the idea is in homotopy world, right? So like in an abelian category, for example, we have stuff like kernels and co-kernels, and that makes our life easy in a lot of respects. We don't necessarily have a notion of kernels and co-kernels for topological spaces, but it would be nice if we could come up with some sort of like homotopy versions of these things, and maybe have like maps. We know that actually, if we take some map and at least we apply the fundamental group to it, then we get some like this
induced map will have some notion of kernel and co-kernel. So maybe we can try and line things up with that. So the idea is that fibrations and co-fibrations are a way to try and talk about things like homotopy kernels and co-kernels, basically. And so fibrations are kind of like surjections, and co-fibrations are kind of like injections. Although this isn't like literally true, but it's true on the level of like how they behave with homotopies. So one thing, notice in particular that like a fiber bundle is a kind of like covering space, and if you know like some basic stuff about the fundamental group is that we have the homotopy lifting property, right? Like if we have some loop in the base point, we can lift it to some path up in the larger thing, right? And a fibration, basically, the point of a fibration is it just generalizes the case when we can do that homotopy lifting. A better explanation is probably that the shrinking morphism, basically it lifts a space B from B to E, but fiber bundles are where you just jump to E, but you use certain fibers. I would not say that is right enough. That explanation doesn't quite track. But let's go see what the wiki page says about fibrations. Let's see how wrong or right I am. Yeah, so here we got the so this is the more general way, by the way, of satisfying the homotopy lifting property, which, by the way, yeah, again, if a special case of this is exactly when this is a covering map. Yeah, and so yeah, fibrations. I mean, yeah, fibrations are basically basically defined to satisfy this homotopy lifting property. So you basically you make this realization that the homotopy lifting property is important in the theory of covering spaces and fundamental groups, and then you basically just make a definition that says, well, let's consider the most general cases when this happens and study those things. I don't know about Serre fibrations. I don't know about Serre fibrations. I mean, the other nice thing too is that we get, if we have fibrations, then it also gives us, hello Lynx Rose. Hello Lynx Rose. Aha, yeah. So we get this sequence here. And what is the loop space? Right. You'd say you start with covering spaces. Fiber bundles allow more on the fibers, and fibrations only want the lifting property. Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's no reason to be sorry that you're not. You can always remedy that by going and studying more homotopy theory. Right, and then I guess this is one of the advantages. I mean, I think this is something we already get. So I guess this is the point of a Serre fibration, right? So if I think this may be easier to argue in the case of if you have a fiber bundle where F is the fiber, we get this long exact sequence. So it's something. So this is another reason why we can sort of think of like fibrations as trying to give us some sort of, I don't know, approximation to like exact sequences in algebraic topologies, because like okay, let me go back to my notes here. Like we know, for example, like again in some abelian category, if you have a short exact sequence, this will induce for you the long exact sequence in cohomology. Or maybe I put my arrows the wrong way. Whatever. Right? It gives you a long exact sequence in cohomology. So again, we think about, well, what's some sort of like short exact sequence analog that might give us at least a long exact sequence when we take fundamental groups. And I mean, a fiber bundle is kind of is kind of that, but again, not the most general thing. So I guess the quickest I could have answered your question by just saying it's a generalization, but I came here to yap. Yeah. So I guess that's that. Oh yeah, sorry. Right. Julie was asking for advice. Could I, you can either get done with your bachelor's early or taking time. I guess it depends a bit on, like what the plan is afterwards, right? Like, and also, I don't know, your financial situation or something. So like if you can get done with your bachelor's early and move on, like if you're hungry to move on to the next stage of your life with grad school applications or something, although if you haven't applied already, you would be doing that this fall, so maybe that doesn't change your timeline when you graduate. Okay, yeah, we can look at an example. Off the top of my head, I don't know one, but we can look at an example. Could you? Yeah, but I would say you cannot get accredited learning anywhere but learning. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would say yeah. I mean, if you're excited to move on to the next step and somehow finishing early would get you to move on to the next step, then yeah, by all means, do that. But I mean, if you don't have the time pressure, you're in Germany, so there's no financial problem. Okay, then Yeah, I mean, if you have neither a financial or a temporal pressure uh, to graduate early, then I don't think you necessarily need to. And then yeah, you could take your time and learn more. I mean, that's the dream, right? Having time and learning more. But yeah, yeah. Yeah. So the only case in which I would say the only other thing I would add on that I'd say yeah, finish early is if somehow that means you move on to the next step early and you're excited for that. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe you're looking for more specific advice or something. Afterwards, you'd be doing a master's at the same uni. Oh, I see. It feels as though you would be that faster would be good on the CV, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah. I don't know. The thing is, I don't know because I've never sat on a graduate admissions committee, so I can only speculate. Um, I mean, if there's a big difference, right? If you're like 16 years old and applying for a PhD, you know, then it's like, oh, that's obviously crazy, and people are probably trying to like snatch that person up. If it's like a year or two faster on the CV, I don't know. Maybe like people might not even notice. Like, is your date of birth on there? But I don't know. You can also say a note like completed bachelor's in like X number of years. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It could be good on a CV, but I don't know if it's that much better to be honest. In fact, in fact, I don't know if taking the extra time would give you any opportunity to do like a summer research project with a professor, but I would imagine that that would speak, that would speak a lot louder than being like a year or a couple years faster. Um, but I'm not so sure. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if it makes as big of a. I don't know if it makes a particularly big difference. I'm trying to imagine myself on an admissions committee, and yeah, I don't know if that would really like maybe if two candidates are in a complete dead tie in absolutely every other aspect, that would sway me possibly. Uh, but yeah, I'm not sure how much weight I would give it. But again, I've never been on such an admissions committee, so I also don't know how other people are thinking about such things. Okay, so I guess if we look at the Homotopy lifting property, um, it should be enough. I guess this doesn't guarantee that the map isn't. Um, so let's see. Okay, let's find example of a fibration which is not a fiber bundle. What? The hop vibration? What the hell are you talking about? How is that not a fiber bundle? Have I seen AI research at my university? AI research? You're going into industry after this semester in Silicon Valley? Nice. Well, let me know if there's any cool jobs for mathematicians. uh, but uh, would a vibration or cofibration still retain its core property when it is like X cross G or just X? I don't know. Yeah, I don't believe the Google AI. I mean, the most. This is like the hop vibration is. Yeah, I don't believe that either. Surely the vibration is a fiber bundle. I mean, am I crazy? I don't trust that. Okay, this person asked a question. Here we go. Here's a nice example. Oh, what did they pose in there? Let's see what they posed as an example here. They take L. Oh, it's this modulo the line, so they squish some line, and B is this, and the fibration is not a fiber bundle. I guess, okay, maybe this is the idea, right? This makes sense. So I think what they're doing, because in a fiber bundle, your fibers should all be isomorphic. So this makes sense as an attempt. Of course, we haven't gone through the proof that this is a fibration, but this actually makes sense as a first thing you might try, right? Is like, well, your fibers for a fiber bundle, at least over like a connected space, should all be isomorphic. So if you can just shrink one of those fibers, and remember, we're trying to preserve homotopy stuff. So actually, if you shrink one of those, you just sort of contract one of those fibers homotopically. Yeah, hop fibration is a fiber bundle with fiber S1. Yeah, okay, I'm not crazy. Yeah, yeah. That's why you shouldn't trust the AI. There's a viral screenshot of a question: should you smoke while pregnant? The AI says yes. Wow, who's training it? Who uploaded all this like 1950s data and ads to the internet that's training these AI? Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, but this totally makes sense, and it makes sense that this picture too would be a fibration, right? Because you basically took some sort of fiber bundle, and again, like you can imagine, you've got this strip of the unit interval, and then you just shrunk, homotopically deformed one of the fibers. So it's brilliant, actually. I mean, it makes a lot of sense after the fact. The AI is trained on Reddit. Is it really? Yeah. Doesn't matter what AI is trained on, it would still be nonsense generator that must always be checked. Yeah. Do I have a good source / explanation of the construction of Chern classes in algebraic geometry as elements of a Chow ring? Not really. No, unfortunately. Well, the other day I was talking about the book whose name I can never get the number right. Was it 3264 and all that? I mean, I don't know. They must talk about Chern classes. They must talk about. Actually, doesn't I think Ravi Vakil's notes? I think that might even contain some Chern class. Actually, so does. I mean, Hartshorn's probably not the easiest place to read about them, but I think that might also be a place to look. And I have this absolute tome of a book, but this is more complex algebraic geometry. Certainly Griffiths and Harris is going to have stuff about Chern classes, and probably both the algebraic geometry and the Chern classes. But the words I'm seeing at the first part make it look like they're doing maybe in differential geometry world. Oh, but they've got the Herzbach Riemann-Roch formula, page 435. It's maybe not the most friendly introduction. Yeah, Vakil's notes are awesome. And you can. There's a new printed version of it. Well, I should say new printed version. There hasn't been a printed version before today. Well, not this day, but like before the last couple of weeks, whenever it came out. The hardcover is $150, but I really want it. I really, really want it. So I don't know what to do. Buy it eventually. Make more YouTube money. Got to make more of your proofs or trash videos. Trying to get more money to afford math books. You're used to vector bundles more often since they look cooler. Yeah. Well, is that true? I mean, the hop fibration. And of course, it's all relative, but I mean, the hop fibration's pretty damn cool. I mean, vector bundles have more structure. You can do more stuff with them, so I do like vector bundles. Any insight for someone learning conformal mapping in a complex analysis class? Yeah, 150 is a bit steep, but I mean the PDF is free online. Like he's made it available and updated it like constantly, so you can find the whole thing very easily online without having to go download it, torrent it or whatever. So yeah. Hop vibration is my PFP. Oh yes. It is. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, insight for learning conformal mapping. Not particularly, other than just I don't know, crunch a lot of exercises. I don't know. When I learned about them, we were using John B. Conway's book on complex functions in one variable. So yeah. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I have any particular advice for learning about it, but you love hop fibrations too. Sadly, you can't do fancy, obscure algebraic geometry like your papers and work you mailed me. Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I did see your email and I did reply to it. Okay. Where were we here? I'm gonna look at this page again soon. Where were we? I was trying to work our way through some math Reddit. I might even yap about heck algebras yet. We'll see. We'll see how the questions are going. We were partway through the Stacks project post. Take that as an indication that Borchers didn't find the concept intuitive. I think Borchers needs to read the same 10-page PDF I did, because it really opened my eyes. I guess that should be an indication of how difficult a topic it is. Yeah, I mean it's not exactly easy. There's a lot of moving parts. It's motivated, there's a lot to like understand the why it is the right thing. How many people in the world actually know stack theory well enough to use it in their research? Oh, probably. I don't know. You'd recommend Michael Penn's video on conformal mappings. Oh, okay. And his playlist on complex as a whole. Okay. Also recommend Nara Simon's book, but it's a bit advanced. Oh, it's always good to look ahead to more advanced things. Maybe I should look at that one day. It's not actually AI generated. It's actually made from your phone using VerbTech. I don't know what VerbTech is. Could you mail me the proof that you made this now? Okay. As I already said, do you really want me to check your paper live? Because I think it's nonsense. I'm sorry to say, none of it makes any sense. It kind of just seems like random words tossed together. So that's what I'll be talking about live if you want me to do that live. I'm afraid I won't have much different to say beyond that. Stacks researchers, all 5 of them. Narasimhan. Okay, maybe I'll look that up. Complex analysis. Well, I don't think there's anything to explain. You're so a. I mean, it's not going to be very easy for you to explain type it by just typing in chat, and b. Um, I think you just there's no way that the math you're doing is legitimate. It doesn't make sense. It's nonsense. I'm sorry. Um, how many people in the world? I'll add that you have found it to be really useful for looking up commutative algebra and beginning algebraic geometry results. So overall, I think it's great public. Yeah, yeah. What are the biggest novel results in other fields that are attributable to category theory? Well, definitely the Weil conjectures, I would say, is number one. Categorical logic is having a moment. Yeah. What are some specific results, though? You usually work with your imagination anyways. I mean, that's good. You know, having a strong imagination is a good part of being a mathematician, but you also need to write things that are true and that are comprehensible. And so, yeah, you can't just be pure imagination. Uh, So I would recommend starting off with explain how the Weil conjectures is applied category. Yeah, well that's basically just the whole. Well, the Weil conjectures themselves aren't, but so maybe let's look up the Weil conjectures just to put people on the same page here, because there's like a bunch of statements. And actually, I mean, there were proofs of a bunch of these. Just check it out, anyways. I mean, how do you know it's true? I already checked it out. And it's incomprehensible nonsense. I'm sorry. In mathematics, the Weil conjectures. Let's see. Do they have a concise form of the statements? Yeah. So these are very like number theory, type things, right? I mean, this is a generating function built out of counting the points of some variety, some variety over a finite field, like let's say an elliptic curve or something. And we have these conjectures about the what this function looks like. Like it turns out it's this it's this particular kind of rational function, satisfies some functional equations that are tied up with the Euler characteristic. So yeah, and the homology. There's also the so-called Riemann hypothesis for varieties over finite fields, right? So seemingly something that like, okay, maybe you don't know what these definitions are just looking at it, but like you could write down some small examples and just sort of check these, compute these things by hand and check them. But the entire idea of topoi and topos theory was invented to basically deal with this. And so so we have something like I mean, we've seen in these statements that like there's something to do with the Euler characteristic, right? But that's something that's maybe sort of classically applies to like complex manifolds and isn't really something defined for like some algebraic variety over some finite field. Do I want something that's not too hard or too easy from you? You're already making the hardest math possible. Well, I don't. I'm sorry, but I don't think what you're doing is even mathematics. So it's you're not making the hardest math possible. And there's no inherent value in making the hardest math possible. that's not. It's neither here nor there. It's about solving problems. Yeah, I mean, if you want to send me some like basic mathematics, proving some basic things about like elementary group theory or something, uh, we can take a look at that. But I think you're mistaken about what mathematics is, yeah, and that what you're doing is mathematics. So something completely different. I don't know if I've ever talked about this, but how much do I think that choosing a master's thesis topic and supervisor influences your further math career? Yeah, Deepak, you're probably right. I shouldn't engage because I think this person's just a crank, and I've been getting several crank emails lately. Oh well, hello Black. I'll say something about the master's topic in a second, but so let me just say that there's obviously something going on with like the topology of these spaces, and the thing is, you would like to be able, for whatever reason, like Growth and Deke realized that, or maybe other people realized that somehow you should have a cohomology theory. I mean, there's I guess a reason why this is called the functional equation and Poincare duality is because my guess, I don't know this as given fact, but my guess was there's a suspicion that this, if you had the right cohomology theory that and you could prove that it satisfies some sort of Poincare duality, then like this equation should come out of that cohomology theory, right? So I'm sorry that you feel discouraged, but it's I think better for you that you feel discouraged, that you're told this now, that what you're doing currently is nonsense and it's not mathematics, and maybe that hurts your feelings a little bit now, but the advantage is that if you do have the true intentions to actually learn real mathematics, you can now address these issues and fix them at this point before you go off in the deep end and become a crackpot for the rest of your life. You have the opportunity now to actually learn mathematics and make these changes and become a mathematician. So yeah. So the point is, the Zariski topology that we normally work with on these varieties is too coarse, right? I mean, take like an affine scheme, say for some ring with infinitely many prime ideals, and is basically the finite complement topology, right? So it's very big. It's somehow too coarse, and so the idea is that we want to try and create some sort of better theory of topology, and I guess that's sort of where the idea came in for the notion of a growth and Deke topology, so that you can sort of look at coverings of your space and sort of generalize the notion of topology through coverings. And so the whole notion of growth and Deke topologies and topoi were invented to generalize this notion of topology, and actually made possible to then develop like the theory of étale cohomology, which happened to be the right kind of topology theory that Growth and Deke predicted. Choosing a master's topic. Yeah, so choosing master's topic and supervisor, I mean, yeah, it can it definitely, I don't want to say it definitely will, because like you could do that and then veer off and do something totally different, and it might not have ultimately any bearing on your future career. But it does have the potential to make a very big impact, right? Because like your choice of supervisor and topic, like if you have a really good supervisor, a well-connected supervisor, that might help you get into a good program for your PhD. That also, it might set you on a particular path. Like if you have a really good master's project, so having a good master's project can help you get into a good institution for your PhD. It also, will very much could set you on your path, right? So if you did some very particular thing in your master's and you really worked at it, and then you went on from there to continue to build on your master's project, then I mean that's awesome. It's like tacking on an extra 2 years to your PhD, and then you get to sort of build on that knowledge even more, So, I think it can have a huge influence. I don't think it's not necessarily given that it definitively will, but it has the potential to, and especially like I would say it's probably worth lean into whatever your master's project could be, unless you decide you really don't like it. But if you lean into that and sort of use that as a springboard and go in that direction, but you don't have to. And honestly, Kristaps isn't even really that good of a mathematician for you to be sending him all this advanced stuff. You should send it to some real mathematicians. What's homotopy type theory? I could yap about that for a long time. I might come back to that question by the end of stream, although I don't know how much longer I'm going to stream for. But I do have a video on homotopy type theory. I went to Italy for a summer school, and I give a maybe pretty quick high-level introduction to homotopy type theory and proof assistance there. So, like the new calculus guy, exactly. Yeah. No. Yeah, Deepak, I don't think you should be suggesting this person to go email a bunch of other mathematicians. These have to be spam accounts. Which have to be spam accounts? You mean my my viewers, or are you talking about this person in chat? This other person in chat. Or is Improlol? I don't know if you're still here, but did you just like happen upon this stream and not being a mathematician, and you're like, what the hell is this guy talking about? How is anyone listening to this? The fake math. Yeah. Is this what a Tal cohomology is about? That's exactly. A Tal cohomology is you develop a theory of a Tal sheaves on a particular Grothendieck topology on the category of schemes, which is given. It's called the a Tal cohomology, where your coverings are given by a Tal. I always forget which way the check goes. I'm sorry. I apologize to all of France. Those are basically your Grothendieck topology is just some collection of a Tal covering maps. What's my limit of fully mastered mathematics? Like, at what theory do you stop understanding math a bit? I don't know. That's very hard to say. It's very patchwork. I know bits and pieces of a bunch of different areas of mathematics, and hopefully my understanding grows every day. So I don't know. I mean, I've got, I think, a pretty typical, pretty average Um, you know, Ph.D. Training, undergrad, master's, Ph.D. So with a focus in a particular area. So a professor of yours once had someone waiting in their office claiming to have proven something that was already disproven. So I guess there are real people. Yeah, well, hey, I mean, yeah. It I mean, there seems to be no sure there seems to be a growing number of mathematical crackpots these days, and in particular ones who are like animating their channels nicely, uh, but um, yeah, I mean things do get deproven sometimes. So sometimes mistakes are found in the literature, just not by amateurs ever. Uh, First, you have to start learning math. There's no such thing as fully mastering mathematics. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no one. I don't think anyone fully masters mathematics. Humility goes a long way in mathematics as well. Yes, that's true. That is definitely true. Uh, yeah, no problem for the answer. Happy to ramble about these things. You're now at a point of choosing these things. Cool, cool. Uh, well, Arcturus, I don't think you can claim that you know that much about that. You know, you're making a claim that you know a fair bit of mathematics, but I mean, the only evidence that's been seen so far is one paper that doesn't make any sense. So, um, perhaps you're mistaken about how much mathematics you know. Do I have any crank physics theories? I think I've developed some. I mean, I do have my own. I do have, Uh, well, actually, I used to maybe spend more time thinking about crank esque things. Um, Gosh, I guess it's been a hot minute because I tried to not do that anymore because I was like, wow, I should just uh, do actual math. One of my favorite recent stories of an amateur making a decent contribution was a guy who discovered the Einstein tile. I don't know if I know that. Yeah, interesting. Interestingly, tilings are a place where people seem to have made. Um, Maybe I did read about this actually. Like Marjorie Rice. She did a lot of. Was that her name, Marjorie Rice? I think she did a lot of really cool work. In tilings. She was a pretty good amateur mathematician. You cannot speak as well as K theory. Can, but am currently a master's student. At least what my master's thesis has shown me is that what you're not interested in. Yeah. I mean yeah, exactly. That's good. That happens sometimes. You don't necessarily know what you're going to be into. So for someone with a little background on categorical side of things, how much knowledge of Grothendieck toposes would you recommend before really trying to learn atal cohomology? To be honest, I don't know a lot of atal cohomology very well. I mean, I know enough to like say some words. I know some like basics about Grothendieck topologies and stuff, but um, I can't say that I have a very good understanding. I don't think you need to go all of that. I don't think you need to go all that deep into the general theory necessarily to really get into atal cohomology. I mean, probably the thing to do is try and. I think Milne has a book. I think Milne has a book on atal cohomology. So yeah, lectures on atal cohomology. So probably the best, the most streamlined approach would be to do something like follow Milne's notes. And again, I'm saying this as someone who does not know atal cohomology really very well. Probably the best thing for you to do is just follow his notes and backfill things you need, right? So like he talks about sites here in chapter 5. That's you know. So presumably there he develops like everything that you need for like everything you need in terms of like a topos theory, and then the rest he takes that and runs with it and does actual, like here he talks about the proof of the Weil conjectures, right? So that's probably fine. Uh-huh. In my work, what names pop up the most apart from Langland's? God, who pops up the most? I mean, uh, well, Zelevinsky, Vogin, those names definitely come up a lot in papers that I'm usually looking at. Castleman, uh, Aubert, um, I guess my supervisor Cunningham. Uh, who else comes up a lot in what I read? Chibitaru somewhat, like not as much. I feel like I want to like open one of my papers and just look at the references that are there. Who else comes up a lot in my research? I'm trying to think. I'm probably leaving out a ton of important names right now, but I'm on the spot. Who else comes up a lot? Yeah, I'm blanking. I mean, there's a lot of other important names that come up. So, uh, I feel bad that I'm blanking on it. You have an old blog on homotopy type theory. Yeah, please share it. Please share your blog. You're doing a seminar about sheaf cohomology and growth in dectoboses. Oh, but you have no clue about derived categories and things. Oh, interesting. That's a seminar I would possibly take part in. Oh, I say that I really should not be distracting myself with more things. I distract myself with YouTube enough as it is. I need to do more work. You first learned aperiodic tilings. Was really interested in embedded Turing machine. Embedded Turing machine in an aperiodic tiling? That's cool. I don't know about that. Huh. I'm gonna have to look at this. Uh, uh Yeah, Arcturus, I'm probably just gonna block you, to be honest. You keep talking about total nonsense, and you're wasting people's time who want to actually learn mathematics. So I hope that one day you sort of drop this idea of just talking about these fancy words that you don't understand, and I hope you really try and learn mathematics properly. I really do. Message me when you're ready to do that, I suppose. You know a decent bit of homology theory, but nearly no cohomology theory. Why does it seem to span so many fields? What are we using it for, and what's the helpful stuff it's telling us? Yeah, so I think in a previous stream I mentioned this, but in short, cohomology measures. This is the simplest way you can say it. The failure of a map to be surjective. So anything that you can set up in terms of some particular kind of map being surjective or not, anything you can set up in that fashion where a lack of surjectivity detects something, cohomology theory is good for that. So there's so many things. So like holes in a topological space. This is the original motivation for homology theory. One of the things I was ranting about before is extensions of abelian groups. So X1, right? This is a cohomology group. So this measures this basically measures the ways that you can take two groups and build a new group out of them. Along those same notions, Lico, I don't think it allows you to post to put links in the comments, unfortunately. But if you, I don't know if there's some way you can like separate. Don't make it a link. Just say what the URL name is separately or something. That I think you might be able to share. In a similar vein, so of course, like representations, like characteristic zero representations, over an algebraically closed field. I don't even think we need that second part, but like those break up as direct sums. But if you're doing mod P representation theory, then X1, there can be more interesting ways to glue two representations together. So like X1, also this cohomology theory gives you a way to detect what am I trying to say? Gives you a way to detect how many ways there are to glue two representations together. So maybe, hopefully these give you just a few ideas of some of the ways in which it can be used. I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg, though. I mean, there's so many ways in which it comes up. Really enjoyed learning cohomology in the context of abelian categories. Yeah. Really made things click. Yeah. Well, I think that's gonna do it for today. Hopefully, Lico, in the next couple seconds, you are able to share a version of that link. If not, and you're still hearing this, then maybe shoot me an email or something. Maybe I'll make a community post with the link or something like that. People can keep their eyes open for it. Oh, okay. Here we go. Nice. Homotopy for mere mortals. Nice. Let me copy that. Wonderful. Okay, and with that, we're gonna end the stream. So, take care and go improve some things.